And welcome into the Rockers pregame show on the Rockers Baseball Network as we count you down to first pitch today between High Point and Gastonia. Rockers looking to avoid a series sweep at the hands of the Honey Hunters. It has not been a good start to the weekend. A combined score through the first two games of 23-5. So, High Point, obviously a little bit of work to do. You look back at what happened yesterday and got off to a bad start, but things really improved in the top of the seventh inning. The Rockers tie the game at 4 thanks to a 2-run double from Michael Russell, and next thing you know, it's a 4-4 game, but the Honey Hunters would immediately bounce back, and they would start the bottom of the seventh inning. Single, double before the Rockers go to the bullpen, and unfortunately, High Point not able to recover from that. So final score yesterday, 11-5. Craig Stem did a decent job keeping the Rockers in the game, but ultimately Gastonia's offense has just proven to be too strong this weekend. 21 hits Friday, 14 more yesterday. So for the Rockers, the situation here pretty simple, and that is figure out a way to contain this right now really high-powered Gastonia offense. So as we look ahead and as we try to figure out what that entails for the Rockers, big thing today, Liam O'Sullivan, even though he gave up 4 runs in his last start in 5 innings, all things considered, didn't look very bad. And really, it was a slow start, a rough start that he was able to really straighten out in a hurry in the middle portion of his outing and really got into a little bit of a groove. And that's one of the first times that we have seen him get into that sort of groove and retire a decent number of hitters in a row. So I think the big thing here for Liam O'Sullivan is to try to find that groove early today. And if he can do that, give the Rockers an opportunity to get the bats going a little bit. They're facing Mckinney today, who they saw last Sunday, and Rockers had a pretty decent amount of success against Ian McKinney. So, and obviously we'll break that number down for you, break that matchup down a little bit for you later on as we go. But the important thing and the first and foremost thing just to keep in mind right now is it seems like the Rockers offense yesterday did take a step forward from Friday. Again, 5 runs maybe doesn't sound amazing necessarily, but this was the team that had opportunities. They were able to pick up some base hits, and they did go into that really long, cold funk that we have seen them do at times where a long stretch of hitters were retired. In fact, the longest stretch the Rockers went without recording a single base runner was 5 guys. So, it ends up being, an inning and 2/3. But all things considered, offensively yesterday looked much better than it did Friday. And I think this team is very eager and anxious to show that the last couple games, just a blip on the radar. They're looking to turn things back around and look more like the team that had won 5 straight coming in to Gastonia this weekend. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on around the Atlantic League next with the Rockers pregame show on the Rockers Baseball Network. Welcome back into the Rockers pregame show as we take a look around the Atlantic League. Not a whole lot of big profile transactions today. Lexington placed reliever Lance Lusk on the injured list, and while that maybe isn't necessarily a household name, I mention it because he has been surprisingly effective for Lexington in his 10 relief appearances for the Legends, a 2.45 earned run average. He is a right-hand reliever out of Sam Houston State. He pitched to a 1.94 collegiate earned run average in 26 appearances this year for Sam Houston State, and had gotten his pro career off to a good start as well with Lexington. They also signed Casey Grimm, and if that name sounds familiar, he made a spot start for the High Point Rockers earlier this season. Well, in terms of the scheduling, both for yesterday and today, here's how it shook out yesterday, with the Ducks taking down York 8-5, Staten Island rallying in 10 innings to beat Lexington 6-5, Lancaster defeated Charleston 6-2, and the Genomes took down Southern Maryland 6-4. Well, today, a couple games already underway, top of the 6th inning, and it's not even close. The Long Island Ducks thumping the Revs today 11-4. Scott Harkin appears to be cruising to what will be his 9th victory of the year. Staten Island, a 1-0 shutout so far over Lexington. They're through 3 innings of play. Genomes an early 2-0 lead over Southern Maryland. They're in the top of the 5th. Max Povsey and Mitch Lamson, the starting rotation there. Lancaster and Charleston scheduled to get underway in about an hour or so. Important to note, the Genomes just a half game behind the Rockers in the wild card, so very, very important for them, or for the Rockers to stay ahead of Wild Health. And with Wild Health up at the midway point, well, for Rockers, it's simple. You need to win to stay ahead today. But we are today game number 42, which means there will be 8 more series to go following the conclusion of today's game. Let's step aside. When we come back, we'll give you the starting lineups next to the Rockers pregame show. Well, we're a little bit ahead of schedule here today at Caramount Health Park, so I'm sorry, but the starting lineups are going to have to wait. Players are taking the field. We'll get you those lineups when we come back. It's the Rockers, it's the Honey Hunters, and it's next on the Rockers Baseball Network. The area of Gaston County hit by some pretty substantial storms last night, and the High Point Rockers can only hope that whatever is plaguing their offense the last couple of days has been washed away overnight. Good afternoon, everyone. Kendrick Fruits here with you from Caramount Health Park in Gastonia, North Carolina for the series finale of the High Point Rockers and Gastonia Honey Hunters here on Sunday afternoon. Ian McKinney taking his warm-up tosses, 5-2 on the year, 4.71 the ERA. This is his 12th appearance. It will be his 10th start, 49 and 2/3 innings pitched, 45 strikeouts, 26 walks. Here's the interesting number, 8 home runs allowed, and opponents, though, only hitting 189 against him. And the tough thing there, the weird thing about it, is simply the fact that it seems that while he's not hit hard, the mistake pitches the opposing teams have been able to capitalize. For the Rockers, leading off is the second baseman, Michael Russell. Ben Aklinski, the right fielder, hits second. Jerry Downs, the third baseman, hits third. Xander Wheel is the left fielder, the cleanup hitter. Quincy Lattimore, the designated hitter, will hit fifth. Rodani Baldwin, the catcher, hits sixth. Batting seventh and playing third base, Michael Martinez. Jay Gonzalez, the second baseman, hits eighth. Or the center fielder, rather, hits eighth. Giovanni Alfonso, the shortstop, hits ninth. Ian McKinney's first pitch, a fastball inside. And we are underway at 4:16 here this afternoon. It is 81 degrees, partly cloudy, although the sun is out right now. And McKinney fires high, 1-1. First pitch time and weather brought to you by Grandover Resorts in Greensboro. Live, work, enjoy. Russell hitting at 265, 4 home runs and 39 batted in. Pops this one up, and it will go foul out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, the Rockers trying to bounce back not just from the 11-5 loss yesterday, but the 15-0 loss the day before. And so that's kind of what it looks like. It, started off this week going 3-0, the sweep against Charleston, and a loss today. You end up with a wash, 3-3. This one lined weakly up the middle and caught at second base by Jalen Smith for the first out. We'll set Gastonia defensively. Rhys Hampton is in left field. Darian Sanford in center. Zach Jarrett is in right. Luis Castro at third base. Jack Reinheimer, the shortstop. Actually, forgot there was a typo on the roster, and I did or on the lineup, but I did not correct it. Third base is Cole Freeman. Jack Reinheimer, the shortstop. Jalen Smith at second. And at first base is Luis Castro with Stuart Levy behind the plate. First pitch, strike one to Ben Aklinski. 272, 17 home runs, and 61 runs batted in. He has stolen 12 bases this year. McKinney's fastball down and in. And the count 1-1 as the Norfolk Southern goes by. 1 lead engine, 3 supporting engines facing backwards, coming at a pretty good rate of speed. We saw a couple slower freight trains coming by the other day. This one's got places to be. That one high to Russell. 2 balls, 1 strike. Rockers in the road grays, Gastonia all whites. Here comes the 2-1. McKinney's fastball also misses high. And the count 3-1 now to Ben Aklinski. So for High Point right now, it went down early, 1-2-3 in the first inning on Friday. Yesterday, got a base hit. In fact, it was Ben Aklinski with a 1-out single, but they weren't able to turn it into anything. So for High Point, you get a guy on, great. Can you do something with him, though? Aklinski lines it into left field. That's going to get down. It's a base hit. And it's going to kick off with the glove of Rhys Hampton. Couldn't corral it. Aklinski is on his way to second base, and he will be in standing. We'll see. It's either a base hit with an error or a double. We'll see how the official scorer gives it. But either way, the Rockers with a runner in scoring position here with just 1 out in the first inning. It is a hit of some sort for sure for Aklinski. And it is going to be a double. That'll bring up Jerry Downs, 299, 18 home runs, 68 batted in. First pitch to Downs. That misses ball 1. comes the pitch, fastball. That's away. And the count 2-0. Home plate umpire Carlos Echeverria. Scott Hart is the third base umpire. Or check that, first base umpire. Owen Ballard, the fourth, is at first base. Let's try that again. Got that backwards. Scott Hart, the first base umpire. Owen Ballard, the fourth, at third. There we go. Here's the pitch to Downs. Check swing. He did not go around. Throw down to second base. Seklinski back in safely. And the count 3-0. The Rockers have an opportunity here in the first inning. Put a couple of base runners aboard. They faced Ian McKinney at home last week. McKinney hit for 4 runs in 4 innings, took the loss. We'll see if Downs taking all the way here with the count 3-0. First, McKinney will step off. Here comes the 3-0. Lefty holding the set, turns and fires. Downs will take. There's a strike, and it's 3-1. Xander Wheel in the on-deck circle. Rockers in the series, 5 runs on 11 hits. Here's the 3-1 to Downs. He'll swing and a miss. That pitch just a hair low. Probably was ball 4, but close enough that Jerry Downs wanted to give a hack at it anyways, so the count full. Rockers have Liam O'Sullivan on the mound today. Liam looking for his second win of the week. Here's the 3-2 to Downs. He'll take just inside, ball 4. So a double and a walk. That'll bring up Xander Wheel, 266, 26 home runs, 84 batted in, and 6 stolen bases. Wheel's 84 runs batted in. He continues to distance himself from the former single-season record of the Rockers, which was 81, but he's also still making a climb in the Atlantic League leaderboard for that as well. He'll swing, pop this one up and foul. The count 0-1. Carlos Franco has not played for York in a couple of days now, so he is still sitting at 95 and, in fact, has been passed by Andretti Cordero of Lancaster. Here comes the 0-1. McKinney holds the set, now fires the curveball. Wheel ropes it foul, third base side. He's down in the count, 0-2 now. The ball kicks off of the padding in the Gastonia bullpen, so Rhys Hampton does have to retrieve it as it's sitting in fair ground right now. McKinney ready with an 0-2. He's been given the signal to resume play. Holds the set, looking back at Seklinski, now fires the 0-2. Wheel swing and a miss, strike 3. That is the second out. And that'll bring up Quincy Lattimore, 260, 15 home runs, 56 runs batted in. You know, for the Rockers, really feels like that they need to get off to a fast start, because in this series they have been playing catch up almost immediately. 2 runs for Gastonia in the first inning Friday, 2 runs in the first inning yesterday. And they really never looked back in either contest. First pitch to Lattimore. McKinney fires the curveball. It's inside, and the count 1-0. Well, Donnie Baldwin, who has had a fantastic first week as a Rocker in the on-deck circle. Really, I think you can already say he's made a case for Player of the Week in his first week. Fastball called strike to Lattimore, 1-1. Wind blowing out a little bit towards left, nothing crazy. You know, the interesting thing, it feels like The game conditions have changed even in the last 20 minutes. Lattimore swings, drives this deep into left field, and that is how you get off to a fast start. Rockabye baseball slamming into a car window. Quincy Lattimore. Move over, Stephen Cardulo. The king has claimed his throne. Quincy Lattimore has now more home runs than any other in High Point Rockers history. His 43rd blast in a Rockers uniform. That was a historic shot into the left center field parking lot. The Rockers also with a 3-0 lead. First pitch to Roldani Baldwin, misses ball one. Mckinney fires. Baldwin, he's swinging for the fences, comes up empty. Swing and a miss. Low fastball from McKinney there. And the count 1-2 strikes. So the 1-2 on the way. We will see if Baldwin's able to extend his hitting streak. He's been off to a great start here with the Rockers, as we've already mentioned, but not just from a power standpoint. We'll talk about the fact that he's got a 5-game hitting streak in his first 5 games with the Rockers. McKinney ready with the 1-2 inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rockers making McKinney work here in the first inning. Baldwin swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Rockers down in the first inning, but not before a record-setting home run off of the bat of Quincy Lattimore gives the Rockers a 3-0 lead in the Rockers Baseball Network. Liam O'Sullivan on the mound for High Point today. 2-4, 7.78 the ERA. This is his 9th start. 46 walks, 26 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .307 against him. The lineup for Gastonia today, leading off is the center fielder Darian Sanford. Batting second is the shortstop Jack Reinheimer. Hitting third, playing third base today is Cole Freeman. Zach Jarrett in right field hitting in the cleanup spot. Emmanuel Tapia, the designated hitter, hits fifth. Luis Castro is the third baseman hitting sixth. Rhys Hampton is in the number 7 slot. Stuart Levy is the catcher hitting 8th. And Jalen Smith, the second baseman, hits 9th. So here is Darian Sanford. Sanford hitting .250, a home run, 8 batted in, 6 stolen bases. First pitch coming to Sanford. There's a called strike, and the count 0-1. Here's the 0-1. This one's popped up. And out of play first base side, and the count 0-2. So getting strike one across, a big thing for Liam O'Sullivan. Not only that, he's got 0-2 count. Two coming. O'Sullivan fires high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Darian Sanford only fractionally better against the Rockers than against the rest of the Atlantic League. 261 against High Point. Pokes this one into shallow center. This one could be trouble. Long run in for Gonzalez, dives and makes the catch. Jay Gonzalez comes up with it. Full extension coming in towards second base. Well, if Quincy Lattimore provided the spark offensively in the first inning, Jay Gonzalez is providing it defensively. Good start for High Point on both sides of the ball. Here's Jack Reinheimer, 280, 9 home runs, 52 batted in. We'll set the Rockers defensively. Xander Wheel is in left. That pitch high, 1-0. Obviously just met Jay Gonzalez in center. Ben Aklinski is in right. Michael Martinez at third base today. Giovanni Alfonso, the shortstop. That tipped into the glove, and the count 1-1. Michael Russell at second, Jerry Downs at first, and Roldani Baldwin is behind the plate. Here comes the pitch. Fastball. That misses, and the count 1-0. Here's the pitch. That's grounded foul. The count 2-2 to Reinheimer. Liam O'Sullivan, his first start here as a Rocker, came here at Caramont Health Park. 4 shutout innings on the 4th of July. This one popped up foul. Count remains 2-2. It's been largely a struggle most of the way since then. Here comes another 2-2. O'Sullivan fires. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, strike 3. Good start for O'Sullivan. 2 outs here in the first. Here's Cole Freeman. Freeman had a big day yesterday. A home run, 3 runs batted in. Hitting .350 overall. Not a whole lot of time with Gastonia for Freeman today. This is actually just his 5th game. Fastball, strike inside corner, and the count 0-1. I do genuinely think this may be the best first inning that we have seen from O'Sullivan in quite some time. That pitch low. The count 1-1. Looks pretty locked in today. Here's the pitch. Hit high in the air, into left. Long run for Xander Wheel as he goes near the foul line. Stays in fair ground and makes the catch, though, for the final out of the inning. That's a 1-2-3 frame. And we'll go to the top of the second. Rockers with a 3-0 lead on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the second, Rockers a 3-0 advantage over the Gastonia Honey Hunters, thanks to Quincy Lattimore's record-breaking home run back in the first inning. So for High Point, hopefully they can use that as a bit of a springboard and can keep things going offensively. Michael Martinez, Jay Gonzalez, Giovanni Alfonso, the three hitters coming up here in the second inning.
Leading off the second inning for the High Point Rockers, the third baseman, number 19, Michael Martinez.
Martinez in his second game back since returning from the injured list, batting from the right-hand side with the left-hand pitcher. There's a strike, and the count 0-1. Swing and a miss. Martinez chasing that off-speed pitch down, and the count quickly 0-2. Mckinney ready with an 0-2. Fastball down and in. The count 1 ball, 2 strikes. McKinney 26 pitches in the first inning. Liam O'Sullivan 13. Here comes the 1-2. Grounded third base side, foul. Martinez hitting at 277. Was 0 for 3 with a walk yesterday. Did score after walking. This one hit on the ground to short. Reinheimer with the in-between hop. The throw to first base is high and goes over the head of Castro. And Martinez on his way to second base on the E6. Rockers will have the leadoff man aboard, and that'll bring up Jay Gonzalez now. Gastonia made a couple of errors defensively yesterday. 2 of them yesterday, in fact. They've committed 1 here early today. So Jay Gonzalez, 277, 3 home runs, 30 batted in. And this is huge for the Rockers to grab this early lead because the Genomes aren't messing around in their game either. McKinney ready. First pitch to Gonzalez. Corners coming in, expecting a bunt, but Gonzalez will take for a strike. And the count 0-1. Martinez, moderate lead off of second. McKinney ready with the 0-1. Corners still in. Gonzalez, though, chops this one up the middle. Backhanded by Jalen Smith. The throw to first base will retire Gonzalez, and in effect, that ground out works like a sacrifice bunt as Michael Martinez heads to third base, and that'll bring up Giovanni Alfonso. Alfonso hitting at 299, 2 home runs, 33 batted in. Yesterday was 0 for 3, but also was hit by a pitch and came around and scored. Here comes the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. He's late on that 88-mile-an-hour heater up at the top of the zone. Here's the 0-1, pops it up. This will get out of play, and the count moves to 0-2 now. One out here in the inning. Rockers have a runner at third base if they can move him across. Already a 3-0 lead, but you know that nothing is safe here at Caramont Health Park. Here's the 0-2. High fastball, and Alfonso lays off. The count moves to 1-2 now. 3 runs on 2 hits early on today. And Mckinney fires. Alfonso drives this deep down the left field side. It'll go foul, I think. Yes, it will curl foul. Alfonso stood at the plate for a moment, then thought maybe he ought to get going, but the ball did end up foul near the left field gate. And the count remains 1-2. You know he's probably got a smile on his face right now. A guy who, name of his game is not power, but just missed one a little bit to the left there. 1 out here in the top of the second. McKinney probably won't go up and in again after that one, I wouldn't guess. Here comes the pitch, and it is fouled just past the far side of the Gastonia dugout, and the count remains 1-2. Ian McKinney, we mentioned, chased after 4 innings at High Point last Sunday. Pitch count already approaching 40 with 1 out in the second inning. Doesn't exactly look like he may be long for this one either. This one lined up the middle, a base hit. Martinez will score, and the Rockers add to their lead now 4-0 on the RBI single from Giovanni Alfonso. That is an unearned run, but it counts all the same. And to bring up Michael Russell, lined out to second his first time up. Russell's had a very, very strong second half of the year. Batting average in the mid-260s. McKinney ready. First pitch to Russell. Alfonso at first. Curveball. That's in for a strike. And the count 0-1. Alfonso, 4 stolen bases this year. He's got better speed than his stolen base numbers indicate. Doesn't matter. This one hit right on the ground to Reinheimer. To Jalen Smith for 1. Russell almost beat that one out at first base. Close play. But it is a 6-4-3 double play to end the second. Rockers get 1 and the RBI hit from Giovanni Alfonso. They extend their lead 4-0. Bottom of the second next on the Rockers Baseball Network. The bottom of the second inning. Rockers with a 4-0 advantage. High Point looking to continue the momentum, and I tell you what, Liam O'Sullivan looked really good his first inning of work. He will face 4, 5, 6, Zach Jarrett, Emmanuel Tapia, and Luis Castro. And I tell you what, the guy that could end the momentum, the guy that could be the biggest threat to High Point, I think, is the guy leading off here. That's Zach Jarrett. On the year, hitting .308, 17 home runs, 67 runs batted in. But if you break it down a little bit further, .329 with 7 home runs against High Point. Now let's break it down even further. This series alone, 5 of 9, 2 home runs, and 5 runs batted in. So Zach Jarrett is a guy who the Rockers have not really had much success against. Fortunately, at least today, to start the game off, they'll face him with the base paths empty. First pitch misses, ball 1. O'Sullivan's 1-0 to Jarrett. Big swing and a miss. And the count goes to 1-1 now. Rockers injury report, obviously 3 players on. Brian Quillins, Tyler Ladendorf, and Dakota Mulcahy, who was placed on yesterday. Jarrett lines this one into left, a base hit. First hit of the game for the Honey Hunters. That'll bring up Emmanuel Tapia. Tapia hitting .254, 14 home runs, 62 runs batted in. The good news is, in terms of Tyler Ladendorf, we did say that Jamie Keefe hoped it would be a quick stay on the injured list, and it looks like that will in fact be the case. We are expecting, and again, this has not been confirmed, but we are expecting Ladendorf to be available when the Rockers return home either Tuesday or Wednesday of the Lexington series, so he is just a few days away at this point. First pitch to Emmanuel Tapia, off speed inside, but called a strike, and the count 0-1. Tapia, .254 hitter, 14 home runs, and 62 runs batted in. O'Sullivan ready, fastball. There's a strike on the inside corner. And the count quickly 0-2. Zach Jarrett, 28 stolen bases at first base. Remember, the Honey Hunters 4 steals away from tying the 2006 Somerset Patriots. Most steals in Atlantic League history. 0-2, Tapia grounds this one to first. Jerry Downs goes to second for 1. Relay to first, O'Sullivan covers, missed the bag, and safe at first is Tapia. Liam O'Sullivan got a little tap dance happy, couldn't find the base. They do get Zach Jarrett, though, 3-6. And that'll bring up Luis Castro. Castro hitting .290, 9 home runs, 41 batted in. Did not play yesterday. In fact, the last time the Rockers saw Luis Castro, he hit a solo home run and a little bit of back and forth exchange with Jamie Keefe as he was rounding first base. That was on Friday night. First pitch coming. And O'Sullivan fires down and in, and Castro has to jump out of the way. Wind blowing out towards left now pretty substantially, at least for the moment. Throws over to first base. They got Tapia. He's tagged around the face. Jerry Downs tagged him up, but he is out, picked off there for the second out of the inning. He tried to go around Jerry Downs and didn't try to get on the ground until late. So now there are 2 away. Bases are empty. And the count 1-0 to Castro. O'Sullivan fires, swing and a miss. The count is 1-1. Rhys Hampton in the on-deck circle. We've seen him bounce up and down the lineup. He's hit first. He's been down here in the 7 spot. That one sails on O'Sullivan, goes back to the backstop, and the count 2-1. Well, after today, there are still 9 more games between the Rockers and Honey Hunters. 9 of High Point's final 28 games. Mauro Gazzo is yelling at Carlos Echeverria, the home plate umpire, saying that O'Sullivan was throwing at his hitter. Off speed, that misses away, and the count 3-1. Wondered if Castro may be a target of anything today. .3-1 coming from O'Sullivan. That misses inside, ball 4. So a walk to Castro, and that'll bring up Rhys Hampton. Hampton hitting .268, 8 home runs, and 37 batted in. In fact, he hit a home run yesterday. It was a solo home run. Runner at first base, Castro, 16 stolen bases on the year. 2 outs and a runner on first base. Here in the second, Rockers with an early 4-run lead. O'Sullivan fires, swing and a miss, off speed, and Hampton couldn't connect, 0-1. O'Sullivan set, 0-1 on the way. Fastball hit on the ground to third. Backhanded by Michael Russell. Gets up, throws to first base in time. That'll retire Hampton. Final out of the inning. It was kind of a slow motion backhand. It was like he was waiting on it to get there and was basically waiting from almost a kneeling position, but threw over to first for the final out. And with that, we head to the top of the third. Rockers lead 4-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network.
All right, folks, let's take it down to Madison for today.
Top of the third, Rockers with a 4-0 lead. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 coming up here. Aklinski, Downs, and Wheel, the 3 scheduled hitters. Rockers took a 3-0 lead on Quincy Lattimore's record-breaking 43rd home run in a High Point uniform coming back in the first inning. RBI base hit from Giovanni Alfonso in the second. We'll see if the top of the lineup can pick up exactly where they've left off. Here against Ian McKinney through 2 innings. McKinney is at 42 pitches. Liam O'Sullivan has thrown 26. Ben Aklinski, a double in the first. He would come around and score. McKinney ready with the first pitch. Fires fastball, strike on the inside corner. The count 0-1. Aklinski, a doubles machine for High Point this year. That double earlier today, his 29th. Swing and a miss, chase that off-speed pitch low, and it's 0-2 now. Jerry Downs waits in the on-deck circle. Rockers 4 runs on 3 hits. Honey Hunters no runs, 1 hit, and an error. Aklinski, a little half swing, a flat-footed swing on that high fastball. Strike 3. That's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Ian McKinney. That'll bring up Jerry Downs. Walked and scored his first time up. Rockers used only 2 out of the bullpen yesterday, Castellanos and Dole, after Fontenot, Cotter, and Hensley pitched Friday. McKinney fires and Downs fouls it off, 0-1. Downs at 18 home runs. And he delivers that pitch low. The count 0-2. He chased it down at the bottom of the, or just above the turf. So he's down to the count 0-2 now. McKinney normally won't blow you away with the strikeout numbers, a little less than one per inning, but one away from picking up what would be his 4th strikeout. Outside, the count 1-2. Here comes the 1-2, off speed, grounded up the middle. Backhanded by Jalen Smith behind second base. The throw and the stretch by Tapia. They're going to say it got him. Or check that, the stretch by Castro got him. Jerry Downs out by about a half step. And that is the 2nd out of the inning. Here's Xander Wheel, struck out his first time up. Wheel 26 home runs. 84 batted in. McKinney's first pitch, off speed high, 1 ball, no strikes. Again, we'll be keeping an eye on both Lancaster and Wild Health today. Wheel chases that pitch down. Rockers have looked a little odd on a couple of swings here this inning. Like they're not really committing to swinging, but pulling the trigger anyways. Genome's up 2-0 in the 7th inning of their game. How about the Ducks? Wheel fouls that off. The count 1-1. Check that 1-2. Long Island 16-9 over York. Davidson Romero's 16th home run. Anthony Seymour, Vladimir Frias all have gone deep. Josue Herrera has for the Revs. A ball and 2 strikes to Wheel. McKinney fires a fastball, strike 3 looking, and the Rockers down in order in the 3rd. McKinney strikes out 2, including Xander's 2nd strikeout of the game. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Rockers maintain a 4-0 lead on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the 3rd, Rockers lead 4-0. It is 8-9-1 coming up here. Levy, Smith, and Sanford, the 3 scheduled hitters to face Liam O'Sullivan. Stuart Levy hitting .226, 4 home runs, 32 batted in. Gastonia backstop caught all 3 games of this series. We did not see Alex Holderbach behind the plate at any point. He caught a game on or last weekend against the Rockers at Truist Point. But Stuart Levy, the man behind the dish, all 3 days today, or all 3 days this weekend. First pitch to Levy, fastball, strike, and the count 0-1. Levy at one point been hitting very well against the High Point Rockers. That number has dropped to 259. The 0-1, he'll swing and a miss. He's quickly down in the count 0-2. O'Sullivan ready with that 0-2. The righty fires. Fastball outside. And the count 1-2. He has switched numbers. Was wearing 35. Is now donning the number 2. Cesar Trejo, I believe, is... Oh, no, Trejo, I think, is in 10. They've switched numbers so many times. This pitch popped up. Right field side out of play. The count remains 1-2. Yeah, Trejo's in 10. 35 right now is not in use. Trejo wore 35 a little bit last year. Here's the 1-2 again. That's bounced at the plate. Baldwin can't find it. It's right front beside him, but Levy doesn't strike you as a guy who would attempt to try to run on a pitch not caught, so he'll stay at the plate, and the count 2-2. Two coming to Levy. Baldwin setting up. Just inside. That pitch just missing again. So that ball 2 pitch, according to the pitch tracker, half of that baseball was in the strike zone. I'm very curious to see where that most recent pitch was, according to pitch tracker. Here's the 3-2 to Levy. He'll ground this one to third. Martinez comes in on it, throws to first in time. And that is the first out of the inning. So that'll bring up Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith, 265, 2 home runs, 11 batted in. One of those home runs coming against High Point. In fact, Smith hitting 375 against the Rockers. Playing second base today, giving Joseph Rosa the day off. O'Sullivan's first pitch to Smith, fastball. And it's low in the count 1-0. I tell you, he's not missing by a lot, Liam O'Sullivan, right now. Fastball, that one bounced to the plate, though, and the count goes to 2-1. 2-0, rather. Here's the 2-0. Fastball, there's a strike at the knees. It is now 2 balls and 1 strike to the Honey Hunter second baseman, who turns around and speaks for a moment with Carlos Echeverria, the home plate umpire. 2-1 on the way from O'Sullivan. That's grounded foul third base side. So it's 2-2 now. We'll take a look at the Atlantic League standings and expand on those a little bit. Obviously, the Rockers a little more concerned about the wild card situation than perhaps the division situation. Smith fouls that off. But nonetheless, we will start with the division races, such as they are. Gastonia 8.5 over Kentucky, then Lexington and Charleston, both 11 out. The Rockers 12 out at the bottom of the South Division. Here's the 2-2 to Smith. On the ground, right to short. Easy play for Alfonso, second out of the inning. In the North Division, Lancaster, 2.5 game lead over Southern Maryland. Staten Island 7.5 back. York 9.5 out. Long Island 10.5 out. In the wild card situation again, the Lancaster Barnstormers a half game behind the Rockers. The Genomes also a half game back. Long Island 3.5 behind, and York 8.5. Charleston 12 out, Lexington 15 out, and Staten Island 19 out. First pitch showing bunt was Sanford. That pitch was inside, though, and he pulled back in the count 1-0. So that is the way things stand, both in the division matchups and in the wild card standings. Here's the pitch, fastball strike on the inside corner. 1-1 now to Darian Sanford. Shows bunt, bunts this one foul. He's down in the count 1-2 now. Really a good bat handler, Darian Sanford, and he's working his way up the Atlantic League leaderboard for career steals. Guess it kind of seems fitting that he is currently here in Gastonia then. Ball and 2 strikes. O'Sullivan ready and delivers. This is popped up. Foul territory. Baldwin calling everyone off. Makes the catch. And that's the final out of the inning. Another 1-2-3 for Liam O'Sullivan. We're through 3 innings of play. Rockers with a 4-0 lead on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top 4, Rockers a 4-0 lead. High Point has 5, 6, and 7 coming up. Lattimore, Baldwin, Martinez. Lattimore, a 3-run home run in the first inning. Facing Ian McKinney. Lattimore is now up to 59 runs batted in this year. And he will lead off here in the top of the 4th, steps in. And Ian McKinney's first pitch of the top of the 4th. Big looping curve, that'll stay inside. And the count 1-0. Pretty solid Sunday crowd here today. Lattimore takes in the turf, 2-0. Maybe not as big as the last 2 nights, but you normally don't expect that on a Sunday necessarily. So all things considered, still not bad. Here's the 2-0. Lattimore a little bit ahead of that off-speed pitch. Fouls it off, and they count 2-1. Through 3 innings of play, Rockers 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Gastonia 0, 1, and 1. This one popped up foul, 2-2. When you think about some of the big home runs that Lattimore has had this during his Rockers career, a grand slam earlier this year. He'll drive this one deep into left center field. That ball is gone. Rockabye baseball. Not only is Quincy Lattimore set the career Rockers home run record, he's pulling away. That is RBI number 60 on the year, home run number 17. It is 5-0 High Point. We were talking about some of those notable home runs. I always think back to the walk-off home run in 2019 where Ladendorf homered to tie, and then check that, Ladendorf homered to tie, and then Lattimore came up and hit the walk-off, the next man up. Here's Roldani Baldwin. There's a strike in the count 0-1. Also, Quincy Lattimore to date has the first and only High Point Rockers postseason home run. Here's the 0-1. High fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Roldani Baldwin, 6 out of 17 this week. He'll pop this one foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, the Rockers making sure that Liam O'Sullivan has all the runs he needs to work with. Timeout at the plate by Baldwin. The count remains 1-2. And McKinney fires. That's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's the Rockers with the long ball today, or at least Quincy Lattimore with it. Baldwin swings out of his shoes there. Strike 3. That was a swing. It looked like he was trying to send that baseball not only to Mars, but to Pluto. That was 100% effort. So here is Michael Martinez. Martinez reached on an error his first time up. There's a strike to Martinez, 0-1. McKinney ready. High fastball. Martinez cannot connect in the count 0-2. Ian McKinney, 5 strikeouts already, matching Gastonia pitching staff's total from yesterday. Here comes an 0-2. That's bounced way in front of the plate, an easy take. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jay Gonzalez, the next man up, with 1 out in the top of the 4th. Martinez, swing and a miss, strike 3. 6th strikeout for Ian McKinney. That'll bring up Jay Gonzalez. He grounded out to second his first time up. Rockers lead by 5. They came into today's game with a -17 run differential in this series. There's a strike to Gonzalez, 0-1, which would have been the 2nd worst run differential for a 3-game series this season. That pitch down low. Count 1-1. They had a -18 differential in 3 games at the Genomes from the 7th to the 9th of June. A ball and a strike. Gonzalez fouls it straight back. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Even with the Genomes ahead in their game, and of course we'll give you the full scoreboard at the bottom of this inning, Rockers win today would keep them atop of the wild card standings. They are in the driver's seat right now, only just, but still, that counts. Gonzalez lines it into the netting down the third base side. Gastonia has more netting than Charleston, but not as much as High Point. It does extend just a little bit past the dugouts. Here's the 1-2. Gonzalez pokes it into left field, but making the catch is Jack Reinheimer, the shortstop, who went out to get it. Gonzalez tried to muscle it up, pitch going the other way with that pitch, but just didn't quite have enough on it. The Rockers, though, add another run on the solo home run from Quincy Lattimore, his second of the game, and it's 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the fourth on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the fourth, Liam O'Sullivan, 3 shutout frames so far. He's been given a 5-run lead. He'll face 2, 3, and 4. Reinheimer, Freeman, and Jarrett, the 3 scheduled hitters. First pitch to Jack Reinheimer misses low. O'Sullivan ready with the 1-0. There's a strike and the count 1-1. We'll give you those Atlantic League scores. We told you earlier that 16-9 early score by the Long Island Ducks over York as they're in the later stages of their game. Reinheimer takes a strike. So elsewhere around the Atlantic League, that is 16-9 in the top of the 8th inning there. Lexington. First, Reinheimer cracks this one into center. Gonzalez backpedaling still in front of the track, makes the catch. First out of the 4th inning. Lexington on top of Staten Island in the 7th inning. It's 6-1 there. Genomes blanking Southern Maryland 2-0. They head to the bottom of the 8th inning. And Lancaster and Charleston just underway. They were delayed due to weather. It is 1-1. Check that. No score in the top of the 1st inning. Oscar De La Cruz versus Kit Sheets. Rockers just handed Kit Sheets his first loss of the year when they faced him earlier this week. That was, Tuesday night, I think it was? Cole Freeman, 0 for 1 today. That pitch down, ball 1. That's a look at where everything stands in the Atlantic League slate here on a late season Sunday. This one grounded foul. Barehand catch made by Chuck Stewart, who's now talking to Michael Martinez, who's giving him credit for making the play. They count 1-1. Liam O'Sullivan, next pitch will be his 50th here. And he fires the 1-1 high and a bit inside, 2-1. Nothing doing in the Gastonia bullpen yet for Mauro Gazzo. They want to try to get Ian Mckinney through 5. He's at 72 pitches. This one grounded up the middle, and it gets past the Rocker middle infielders. And Freeman, with the Honey Hunters' second hit of the game, brings up Zach Jarrett, who has their first hit of the game. Zach Jarrett, we talked about it his last time up. He's been a bit of a handful for High Point this year. You want to face him without anybody on base. But here with the Rockers ahead by 5, it affords Liam O'Sullivan a little bit of cushion. Obviously, you hope he doesn't make a mistake, but the 5-run lead, you don't have to be perfect here as Jarrett swings and misses. Reinheimer at first, or Freeman rather, first base. A couple of stolen bases this year. Again, he's only been here 4.5 games at this point. O'Sullivan holds the set. Here's the 0-1. That's a fastball high. Baldwin jumped up as if he were going to throw down to first base, but doesn't ultimately pull the trigger. So that makes it a 1-ball, 1-strike count here to Jarrett. 7 of his 17 home runs have come against High Point this year, and the Rockers pitching has not been able to figure him out. There's a high fly into center, but Jay Gonzalez has room. Makes the catch, and that is the final, or the second out rather, of the inning. Well, success. Rockers have kept him in the yard here twice. Here's Emmanuel Tapia. Tapia 0 for 1. Another guy who's done most of his power damage against the Rockers. 6 of his 14 home runs. Maybe not quite the same percentage as Jarrett, but still. He lines this one into center. Gonzalez not going to be able to make the play. A base hit. Throw comes in to hold Freeman at second. He got a little tied up with Giovanni Alfonso at second base. All good there, though. So 2 aboard. And here's Luis Castro, who walked his first time up. Mario Gazzo up at the top of the steps. This is the hitter that he was claiming that O'Sullivan was throwing at or behind his first time up. And he was a little angry with Carlos Echeverria, the home plate umpire. I think he's watching very intently to see what the sequence is here. O'Sullivan's first pitch to Castro, off speed, it's a strike. And the count 0-1. For Gastonia, this is the first time today they've had a runner in scoring position. O'Sullivan ready with the 0-1. Righty holds the set. Freeman dancing off a second base. And timeout called right as Liam about to throw that pitch, so we'll have to do that one again. Honey Hunters have been one of the best teams in the Atlantic League in the second half, hitting .307 as a team since July 13th, 1 week into the second half. Here's an 0-1, check swing. That pitch outside, the count 1-1. It looked at first as if Echeverria was going to just call it a strike. But instead, they asked down to third base, or to the first base umpire, and Scott Hart says no, he did not go around. O'Sullivan ready with a 1-1. The righty deals off speed. There's a strike on the outside corner. And it's now 1-2. O'Sullivan 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Again, not necessarily a huge strikeout guy, only 1 today. Very much a pitch to contact pitcher, but he can pick him up when he needs them. Holds the set. Here's the 1-2. That's lined into center. Jay Gonzalez, though, flags it down, had a good read on it, and that's the final out of the inning. So 4 shutout frames here for Liam O'Sullivan, and we'll go to the top of the 5th. Rockers still lead 5-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the 5th, Rockers a 5-0 lead. It'll be 9-1-2 coming up here. Alfonso, Russell, and Klinsky against McKinney. 72 pitches. We mentioned that a few moments ago. Gastonia has a little bit of generic stirring about in their bullpen. Nobody actively throwing, but could be McKinney's final inning, and if he gets into trouble, they may have somebody up sooner rather than that. Alfonso 1 for 1 today, an RBI base hit his first time up. He's talking to Rockers manager Jamie Keefe before they both head to the Gastonia side of home plate. Keefe to the third base coach's box, Alfonso to the right-hand batter's box. It has become a little bit more cloudy now. We talked about it being partly cloudy, and the sun came out right at the beginning of the game today, but it's now, I would say, safe to say more cloud than sun up to this point, or at this point. McKinney ready. Alfonso steps in. Making sure he's got his footing. We mentioned the rain last night. Haven't really noticed any sort of grip issues or with players having trouble planting or any such issues in terms of players having their footing or not, as Alfonso takes a strike. Really up until late last night, as that curveball lofted foul, 0-2. I think the status of today's game was in a decent amount of jeopardy, but for once, the weather plays nice for an entire series at Caramont Health Park. Here's an 0-2 from McKinney. Off speed outside. Good take from Alfonso, and the count goes to 1-2. Michael Russell, top of the lineup in the on-deck circle. He's 0 for 2 today. Seems a little uncharacteristic the way that he's been swinging the bat recently. Swing and a miss, strike 3, down goes Alfonso. That is first out of the inning. Strikeout number 7 for McKinney. So here is Russell. Back in the right-hand box. Rockers pretty right-hand heavy lineup today. Jerry Downs, Jay Gonzalez, only 2 left-hand hitters. Switch hitter Michael Martinez obviously hitting from the right-hand side. Russell drives this deep down the left field side. If it is fair, it is gone. Rockabye baseball. Michael Russell keeps it just inside the left field line. It is a 6-0 Rockers lead on Russell's 5th of the year. Well, the Rockers with their 3rd home run of the afternoon. First one by anyone not named Lattimore. So that'll bring up Ben Mckinney now. Mckinney today 1 for 2 with a double. One out here in the top of the 5th. And there's a big swing for Mckinney, but he'll come up empty, 0-1. Mckinney fires off speed. Mckinney grounds it foul, third base side. It is going to go towards the Gastonia dugout. And also Riley Hovis has just picked up a baseball in the bullpen, but also so too it looks like has another reliever trying to see who it is that's actually going to be playing catch down here. Here's the pitch, high fastball. Mckinney lays off, and the count 1-2. Nope, it is going to be Riley Hovis. The other pitcher is going to play goalie. Mckinney pounds this one on the ground to second. Jalen Smith picks it up, rifles it on to first base. That's the second out of the 5th. Here's Jerry Downs, 0 for 1, a walk and a run scored. Then we talked about Ian Mckinney. We said it in the pregame show. Overall, doesn't give up a ton of hits. When he does, they're hit hard. The Rockers have hit 3 mistakes out of the yard today. Downs hits this one high in the air into left field. Going back is Hampton at the wall. That ball is gone. Rockabye baseball again. Jerry Downs. Well, we said that Michael Russell just squeaked his inside the left field line. Jerry Downs, you probably couldn't wedge a sheet of paper between the flight of the baseball and the foul pole. But hey, that's a solo shot, his 19th of the year. And the Rockers extend their lead now. It is 7-0. 2 home runs this inning. And the batter, Xander Wheel, who's 0 for 2. And with that home run also, Jerry Downs has tied Steven Cardullo for second most home runs in Rockers history, one behind King Q. Wheel takes high. Wheel swings, drives this into center field. Going back on it, Darian Sanford at the wall. Rockabye baseball straightaway center. Xander Wheel, his 27th of the year, tying Richie Schaefer's mark for the most home runs in a single season by a High Point Rocker. Their 3rd home run of the inning, their 5th home run of the game, and the Rockers are rolling here in Gastonia. That'll bring up Quincy Lattimore. He's homered twice today. McKinney's first pitch, Lattimore swings, fouls it off. And the count 0-1. Obviously now if you're Mauro Gazzo, you're just trying to get your pitcher through the inning to keep your DH. Lattimore pops it up. Right field side, maybe a play for Castro, running towards the Rockers dugout, but he'll run out of room. And the count 0-2. McKinney ready with an 0-2. Lattimore takes strike 3 looking, and that is the final out of the inning. He's not happy with it. He's pointing to Echeverria, or pointing out to Echeverria where he thinks that one was. But the Rockers 3 solo home runs in the inning. They lead 8-0, and we're halfway home. Rockers, an 8-run lead on the Rockers Baseball Network. A busy offensive day for the Rockers. An 8-0 lead for Liam O'Sullivan. He'll face the bottom third of the lineup here. Rhys Hampton, Stuart Levy, and Jalen Smith coming up here. Hampton 0 for 1, Levy 0 for 1, Smith 0 for 1. All three of them ground outs, each to a different infielder. O'Sullivan's first pitch to Hampton. And the Rockers righty delivers. Hampton strokes this one into center field. Gonzalez going to have to play it on a hop. And we'll see if Mauro Gazzo starts to let his base runners loose a little bit now. Leadoff single for Hampton brings up Levy. Well, if nothing else here, you want to try to stay out of the double play, the ground ball, with a not exactly a fast guy at the plate in Stuart Levy. Hovis continues to throw in the pin for Gastonia, so it looks like Mckinney probably finished. Levy will take a strike, 0-1. Rhys Hampton, 53 stolen bases. Doesn't go on this one, though, and O'Sullivan fires that one in to Stuart Levy, and he'll hit him on the front shoulder. A hit by pitch. There's two aboard and nobody out. So that'll bring up Jalen Smith. He grounded out to second his first time up. We will see whether or not the Rockers can get that ground ball double play. Smith's got quite a bit of speed himself, so not a sure thing. Smith pops it up in the infield. Michael Russell is there. Infield fly called, and Russell puts it away. So, one out. The hitter, Darian Sanford, he's 0 for 2. Gastonia, no stranger to attempting the double steal. Although Stuart Levy, 1 out of 4 this year, maybe not exactly the prime candidate on the back end. Rockers would be more than happy to throw for him and let Hampton take third base, I think, with an 8-run lead. First pitch, Sanford hits this one in the air into right. Long run for Beneklinski, but he's flagged it down in the right center field gap. Throw comes into second, and Hampton heads to third. So there are 2 outs now in the bottom of the 5th. That'll bring up Jack Reinheimer. He's 0 for 2. Runners at the corners for the Honey Hunters. Liam O'Sullivan trying to get through the 5th inning, still without a blemish on the scoreboard. He's brought his ERA down below 7, just barely right now, but still trending in the right direction. First pitch to Reinheimer. O'Sullivan fires, off-speed strike, and it's 0-1. In the 6th inning, High Point will have 6, 7, and 8. Baldwin, Martinez, Gonzalez. And they will be doing it against Riley Hovis. O'Sullivan with the 0-1, fastball strike outside corner, and he's quickly ahead 0-2. Now this gives him a little bit of room to work with here. See if he wants to waste one or try to get a chase from Reinheimer. Here comes that 0-2. Runners at the corners for the Honey Hunters. That's just south of the zone. The count, 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Here comes the pitch, 1-2. O'Sullivan holding the set. Fastball hit high in the air into left field. Wheel watches, it's gone. Reinheimer got under it, got all of it. A 3-run home run, the Honey Hunters on the board, 8-3. That is Reinheimer's 10th of the year. RBIs 53, 54, and 55 brings up Cole Freeman. It was also the 8th home run that the Rockers have allowed this series, which is the second most that they have allowed in a series this year. The same series we talked about, the run differential being minus 18 in that Genome series. They allowed 9 home runs in that series as well. A pitch down, and the count 1-0. Off speed to Freeman, down and away. He did not go, and the count 0-2. Rockers bullpen quiet. O'Sullivan, really, with the exception of that one mistake pitch, has not missed very much today. There's a called strike, and the count 2-1. And you look at his pitch tracker right now, just at 71 pitches, so he could go a 6th inning if they needed him to. This one cued off the end of the bat towards the Rockers dugout. Will die just past the on-deck circle, and the count 2-2. Here's the 2-2. That's outside and away. And the count goes full. O'Sullivan looking for the final out of the 5th inning. Curveball popped foul. That'll get well out of play, straightaway center. Or straightaway behind the plate. Both teams 3 runs here in the 5th. Here's the 3-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. O'Sullivan strikes out Freeman, gives up 3 runs on the home run to Reinheimer, but the Rockers' lead is 5, 8-3. We go to the 6th on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the 6th, Rockers lead at 8-3. Gastonia goes to the bullpen. Ian Mckinney, 5 innings, 8 runs, 7 of them earned on 7 hits, 8 strikeouts, and 1 walk allowed. New pitcher Riley Hovis comes in for Gastonia. Hovis on the year, 6-5, 6.33 the ERA, 21 appearances, 19 of them starts, 35 walks, 83 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .266 against him. And Hovis has allowed 19 home runs this year, one of the highest numbers in the Atlantic League. He will face 6, 7, and 8, Baldwin Martinez, and Gonzalez. Michael Martinez will flip around to the left-hand side for the first time tonight. Baldwin's first pitch to Roldani. Called strike. Check that. Hovis' first pitch to Roldani, a strike. And the count 0-1. Baldwin has struck out both of his first two at-bats today. 8 runs on 7 hits, no errors for High Point. 3-5-1, the line score for the Honey Hunters. Swing and a miss. Hovis dropped down to the side there, and Baldwin went fishing, came up empty. Count 0-2. The Rockers already surpassed their run total the first 2 days combined. Here comes an 0-2. Hovis holds the set. And that's down low and away. Easy take for Baldwin. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, as we mentioned, his first time up. 5-game hitting streak on the line for Roldani. Rockers looking to maintain their half-game lead in the wild card. Here's the 1-2. Hovis holding the set, takes a deep breath. The righty fires. Baldwin taps this one weakly to the mound. Hovis fires to first base. That is out number 1. Michael Martinez 0-2, reached on an error his first time up. Did come around and ultimately scored. Martinez batting average just under 275. Hovis delivers a fastball low, and the count 1-0. We are in the top of the 6th inning. Both teams have kept their DH for the day. Liam O'Sullivan looks like he'll come back out for the bottom of this inning. Martinez cracks this one deep into left field. Rhys Hampton going back, rockabye baseball. Home run number 6. On the day for the Rockers, Michael Martinez hits his 3rd of the year. It is 9-3. That is the 20th home run allowed by Riley Hovis this year. Rockers have hit 6 home runs. 4 of them have been solo shots. Here's Jay Gonzalez now, 0-2. And you think about it, too, the one that Giovanni Alfonso hit that was just foul, he almost had one. Jay Gonzalez has hit one the opposite way here before. He'll take inside, and the count 1-0. In fact, the way this is going may end up being easier to tell you who hasn't hit a home run yet today. There's a strike, 1-1. That list, Beneklinski, Donnie Baldwin, Jay Gonzalez, Giovanni Alfonso. Hovis ready with the 1-1. Gonzalez, a big swing, fouls it off, and the count 1-2. High Point has scored in 5 of 6 innings tonight. The only one they were kept off the board was a 1-2-3 third inning. Hovis steps off. A win today for the Rockers. Again, still good ways to go, but would cap off what would be a 4-2 week for High Point. Gonzalez chases the high fastball, gets a piece of it, 1-2 still. They swept Charleston to start the week, then trying to avoid a series sweep today. Offense has come to play, and really Liam O'Sullivan has too, except for that one mistake pitch. He has done an excellent job this afternoon. Here's the 1-2. Gonzalez pops it up, foul territory. Freeman jogs over, but that ball will land just past the Gastonia bullpen into that first row of seats. Well, I'd say it lands in the first row of seats. It deflected, I think, off of someone trying to catch it and ends up rolling back onto the field of play just past the Gastonia bullpen towards the third base line. Hovis ready with a 1-2. The righty fires. Gonzalez again fouls it off. A good battle here. That is 4 consecutive foul balls for Jay Gonzalez. After the count was 1-1. Here comes another 1-2. High fastball, 2-2. Hovis working a little bit of a mustache on the mound. That's a new look for him. Just like we saw Sam Bordner, who didn't have long hair necessarily, but it was definitely protruding from the base of his cap, and yesterday, nothing. Another foul ball. Count remains 2-2. Jay Gonzalez is costing the Honey Hunters some baseballs. This at-bat has extended 5 pitches since strike 2. Good battle. 2-2 from Hovis. Takes a deep breath, fires, and guess what? A foul ball. This is a good battle, and this is an at-bat too. Your teammates love you for this sort of at-bat. You're battling, your back's against the wall. And at this point, it's gone on. Next pitch will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. This is a big reason too why the Rockers love Jay Gonzalez. Just waiting on a mistake if he gets it. Here's the 2-2. This one hit on the ground to second. Jalen Smith on to first base. Riley Hovis wins the battle. It was a 10-pitch battle, though, and that's 2 outs in the inning. That'll bring up Giovanni Alfonso, 1 for 2. Ian Mckinney. We talked about the mistake pitches and the 5 home runs, though, did strike out 8 guys. Alfonso being one of them. Baldwin and Wheel each struck out twice against McKinney. First pitch to Alfonso. He'll take a strike at the bottom of the zone. And the count 0-1. Wind has shifted a little bit more towards center field now. A small shift, but we'll see if it becomes noticeable. Swing and a miss. Alfonso trying to add his name to the home run list there. Comes up empty, 0-2. Michael Russell, 1 for 3. Be the next man up. Hovis ready with an 0-2. Fires that one up around chin high. Easy take for Alfonso. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, we are rapidly approaching the end of the Rockers' regular season schedule, hoping there's a postseason schedule, but it means we're running out of dates for home series as well. As Alfonso hits this one, that's a fair ball just past Castro down the right field line. That ball had to be placed perfectly, and Alfonso wedged it between the right field line and the glove of Luis Castro. A 2-out base hit brings up Michael Russell. Rockers back home Tuesday. Begin a 3-game series against the Lexington Legends. It begins with High Point night. If your address is a High Point address, bring proof of your residency to the box office, and you can get 50% off your ticket order on Friday, or on Tuesday, rather. Tuesday, the 23rd. Otherwise, we still hope to see you at the ballpark. You can grab your tickets at highpointrockers.com. This pitch popped up, right side of the infield. Castro calling for it, puts it away. And that's the final out of the inning. But the Rockers score one, a solo shot from Michael Martinez. They get 1 run back. It's 9-3 as we go to the bottom of the 6th on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the 6th inning, Zach Jarrett on the mound, or in the box. First hitter for Gastonia, Liam O'Sullivan, going to try to complete his 6th inning of work. Liam through 5 has thrown 75 pitches. Zach Jarrett today 1 for 3. Check that, 1 for 2. Curveball, called strike. They were just speaking it into existence, right? Manifesting what we want to happen and all that sort of thing. Here comes the 0-1. It's hit high in the air into right. It'll go foul. Kuklinski watches as it lands in the seats, and the count 1-2. Well, the damage for Gastonia, the 3-run home run by Jack Reinheimer, and that's it. Up to this point. Here comes the 0-2 off speed. This is lined down the left field side, curling foul. The count remains 0-2. He squared up on it, but just a little bit early, and that ball continued on a curved projection to the left. Started out as a fair ball, and I would say for about 70 to 80% of that ball's flight path, it was a fair ball, but at the end, it takes that hard left, and the count remains 0-2. O'Sullivan ready with an 0-2. And the righty fires. Jarrett taps it foul behind the plate, and the count remains 0-2. Highest pitch count that O'Sullivan has reached this season. 2 starts ago, 96 pitches. So he's still about 18 away from that mark. Bounces this one. And the count 1-2 now to Zach Jarrett. Jarrett, one of Gastonia's 5 hits today. O'Sullivan delivers the 1-2. That's driven deep into left center. That's gone. Another home run for Zach Jarrett. That is his 8th home run against High Point. Honestly, at this point, I think you just expect that he's good for 1 a game. His 18th home run of the year. It is 9-4 now. And that'll bring up Emmanuel Tapia. It's brought the fans back to life here a little bit today. They've been really quiet for the majority of the game, but they've been rejuvenated a little bit here. Now we're just alternating scores. Rockers and Honey Hunters both scored 3 in the 5th. So far, they both scored 1 in the 6th. First pitch to Tapia, a called strike. Big swing and a miss there on the off-speed pitch, and the count 0-2. Liam O'Sullivan had not given up a start in 3 starts in August. Let's try that again. Had not given up a home run in 3 August starts until today, where he's now given up 2. There's the 1-2. Tapia on the ground, right at Michael Russell, the second baseman. Easy play. On to first base. And that's the first out of the inning. Brings up Luis Castro. High Point has action in the bullpen. It is Junior Rincon. Castro hitting .288, 9 home runs, 41 batted in. think they will probably cap O'Sullivan at 6. But by getting Emmanuel Tapia right there, as that pitch misses inside, ball 1. By getting Emmanuel Tapia, it is the deepest into a ball game that Liam O'Sullivan has made it this year, 5 1/3. Here's the 1-0. Off speed, swing and a miss, 1-1. On deck circle is Rhys Hampton. He's 1 for 2 today. Honey Hunters have not attempted a stolen base. You know, I kind of thought, as this one lined foul, left field side, 1 and 2. I kind of thought they would try to run a little bit more, and maybe the Rockers jumping out to the big early lead that they did kind of tipped their hand a little bit, or kind of handcuffed the Honey Hunters a little bit. But 4 stolen bases away from the Atlantic League record. They're going on the road 3 games at Charleston to start the week. Just kind of thought they were going to try to set the record at home here today. Here's the 1-2. Grounded foul, third base side. Had a couple of speedsters at first base today and have not elected to run. Maybe if they get the game a little bit closer, they may try to do so. We'll see. Well, Donnie Baldwin is also quickly gaining a reputation for how quick he throws down to second. This one grounded to short, scooped up by Alfonso, and the throw to first base in time, out number 2. Brings up Rhys Hampton, 1 for 2. Rockers 9 runs on 9 hits, Gastonia 4 runs on 6 hits, and they've committed an error. Hampton was kind of the 4th outfielder while Hurley Rodriguez was still here, but since Rodriguez went to Mexico, Rhys Hampton has hit .324 since then. He'll take ball 1. Which, that date, by the way, July 13th. So in the last, month plus a week, he's hitting .324 since being inserted. Not necessarily always the everyday center fielder, but he's pretty much an everyday outfielder now. He'll take a strike and the count 1-1. Left field today, left field yesterday, and left field on Friday. That's down. The count 2-1. We've seen him in center a little bit. They really have 3 guys that can plug into center field. Darian Sanford, Jake Skoll, and Rhys Hampton. Here's the 2-1. That's low and in. 3 balls and a strike now. Next hitter, Stuart Levy. O'Sullivan with a 3-1. That's popped foul. Martinez only watches it. The count remains, or moves to 3-2. Rhys Hampton leads the league in steals, also leads the league in caught stealings with 13. Here's the 3-2, fastball inside. He thought he had strike 3, did Liam O'Sullivan. But instead, it's a 2-out walk, and that brings up Stuart Levy. Jamie Keefe is going to go out. I'm surprised they're not going to let Liam O'Sullivan finish the inning. Is at 96 pitches. Jamie Keefe takes the baseball. Solid outing for O'Sullivan, but he won't get to finish the 6th. Rockers will go to Junior Rincon, up 9-4 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Rockers head to the bullpen. Can't quite close the book on O'Sullivan yet, as he is responsible for Rhys Hampton over at first base. Junior Rincon will come in and try to pick up the final out of the 6th inning. Rincon on the year. Break down his numbers a little bit. 1-1, a 1.33 earned run average for Rincon. 20 1/3 innings pitched. This is his 17th appearance. 11 walks, 21 strikeouts, and opponents hitting 121 against him. You know, could see a situation here, I think, where Gastonia very likely, if they wanted to send Hampton, I don't know, the Rockers would pay him much attention. They're really just focused on getting the final out of the inning. Now, that said, we have seen from Baldwin, he is not afraid of taking an opportunity, taking a chance. So we'll see if Mauro Gazzo wants to potentially risk a base runner with 2 outs in the inning. Levy grounded out to third his first time up. Was hit by a pitch, ultimately came around and scored his last time up. And Rincon ready. First pitch of his Sunday afternoon. Well, really Sunday evening now, 6:11 Eastern. Fastball strike, and the count 0-1. Rincon's first fastball registering at 90 miles an hour. 9-0. Here's the 0-1. That's down in the dirt, or turf rather, blocked up by Baldwin. 1 ball, 1 strike. Reminder, the Rockers, a 6-game homestand this week. 3 games against Lexington, 3 games against Gastonia. All games except for Sundays are 6:35 starts. Sunday, a 4:05 first pitch. Here's the 1-1. That's low, 2-1. Grab your tickets at highpointrockers.com. We will hopefully see you at the ballpark. Looking forward to it. Should be fun. Rockers will see Lexington for the final time this year. Throw over to first base. Hampton back in safely. And the count 2-1. Rincon ready with the 2-1. Hampton takes off. Fastball low. Gets through the legs of Baldwin. He can't find it. That'll be a stolen base for Rhys Hampton. And the Honey Hunters now 3 steals away. That is Hampton's 54th of the year. Baldwin just tried to throw the ball before he actually secured the catch. So the count 3-1 now to Stuart Levy. Rincon holding the set, ready with the 3-1. There's a strike and the count full. Levy had tossed his bat thinking that was ball 4, but the count 2-2, he's got to go back and get it. The bat boy's going to hand it to him. A lot of umpires don't like it when a hitter throws the bat on a pitch that ends up not being ball 4. Certainly seen in Major League's affiliated ball. Sometimes that next pitch, strike zone maybe a little bit wider. Here comes the 3-2 to Levy. Off speed low. And that is ball 4. Obviously not the case here. Here's Jalen Smith. He's 0 for 2. Rockers lead is 5 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 10 defensive outs away from, I would snap a little modest 2-game skid. Rincon ready, first pitch on the way. Jalen Smith asking for time, and he will be granted that timeout. First pitch from Rincon to Smith. Popped up into foul territory. Long run. Xander Wheel can't quite get to it. Wheel went full speed ahead and still ended up probably about 10 feet away or so from that baseball. So he's got a little bit of a trek back into his spot in left field. Riley Hovis will face 2, 3, and 4 in the 7th inning. Aklinski, Downs, and Wheel, the 3 scheduled hitters for High Point. First off, runners take off. That pitch fouled off, and they'll both have to head back to their respective bags. Junior Rincon trying to keep the Rockers' lead to 5, but not allow Gastonia to chip away at it anymore. We'll see if Gazzo puts both of them in motion again like he just did a moment ago. Hampton and Levy both. Not this time. Curveball. That's high. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rincon, 8 pitches, only 3 of them for strikes. Here's the 1-2. That one must have missed away. It had the height. Frank Viola yells out at Carlos Echeverria now. The count now 2-2. See where that one missed on the pitch tracker. Nope, it was a strike according to pitch tracker. Had the height and actually was inside the zone. Swing and a miss. Got Smith on the changeup for the final out of the inning. And so with that, we head to the top of the 7th. Rockers with a 5-run lead. It is 9-4 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top 7, Rockers lead by 5 against Gastonia. It will be 2, 3, and 4 coming up here. Aklinski, Downs, and Xander Wheel. On a cloudy and overcast Sunday afternoon at Caramon Health Park. Well, including today, there are 10 games left between High Point and Gastonia. I include today because, well, it's not final yet. The Honey Hunters need just one more win to ensure a split of the season series. 34 games make up this head-to-head matchup this year. Gastonia's next win head-to-head would be their 17th. First pitch to Aklinski is strike. Aklinski today 1 for 3, a double and a run scored in the first inning. Since then, a strikeout and a ground ball to second. Here comes the pitch. He swings, high fly into right, but Zach Jarrett looks like he's got space. He does. Makes the catch about 3 or 4 steps in front of the wall. or actually really in front of the warning track. And that's the first out of the 7th. Here's Jerry Downs, 2 for 3, a solo home run his first time up. We mentioned the Rockers have scored in 5 out of 6 innings. They've got a couple of power bats here if they want to extend those numbers. Hovis ready. That pitch low. And the count 1-0. One ball, no strikes coming here from Hovis. The righty fires up and in, almost clipped Jerry Downs. Not sure that it didn't. Yeah, it looks like it did. That is the first hit by pitch today for Downs. Second day in a row he's been hit. And that'll bring up Xander Wheel, 1 for 3 with a home run. Downs not thrilled by that development. Took a couple of peeks over at Riley Hovis as he worked his way down to first base, so that'll bring up Xander Wheel now. Rockers have tied a club record 6 home runs hit. That pitch misses, ball 1. Xander Wheel and the guy on deck, Quincy Lattimore, both give the Rockers a great opportunity to break that record. Really, the way the Rockers are swinging today, anybody could be the guy to do it. Here's the 1-0 from Hovis. Fastball low, 2-0. Downs the runner at first. Rockers 9 runs on 9 hits. Gastonia 4 on 6. Here's the 2-0. Wheel, big swing, was out in front of it though and just got a piece of it. And the count 2-1. Downs a small lead over at first base. Hovis ready to deliver the 2-1 to Xander Wheel. That's low, 3-1. I'll tell you, the big thing about Xander Wheel's home run, everybody else has been attacking the short field or the short fence in left field at just 304 down the line. Xander Wheel went straight away center over the 400 sign to the Gas House Bar and Grill. 3-1 to Xander Wheel. That's low, ball 4. So a hit by pitch and a walk. And that'll bring up Quincy Lattimore now with a couple of home runs. Well, we say that like they're any old home runs. Record-breaking home run for Quincy Lattimore, his first time up. Now, the only Rocker that's ever homered 3 times in a game is Jerry Downs last year. Lattimore will have a chance to match that. Big swing, comes up empty on the off-speed pitch, 0-1. Lattimore did that, or Downs rather did that at Lexington last year. I think it was the second game of the second half. Part of a historic evening that he had last year, and he's seen one of his single season records go by the wayside this year in terms of RBIs in a single season, but hey, he's still got a chance to battle with Lattimore for most career home runs by a Rocker. That's low. He's actually just 1 behind Lattimore and currently tied with Stephen Cardullo. Action in the Gastonia bullpen. This is Ezekiel Zabaleta, who, if I remember correctly, yesterday was Zabaleta's birthday. Yes, it was yesterday, and today is the birthday of former High Point Rocker Stuart Levy. That's low, 2-1. Rocker's next birthday, Logan Morrison's coming up on Thursday. Hovis ready with the 2-1. Rockers 2 aboard and 1 out. He fires, Lattimore swings, high fly into right, not deep. It'll be caught by Zach Jarrett. Neither runner will advance. So 2 outs, and Roldani Baldwin is the hitter. Baldwin 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. We'll see if the Rockers can make it 4 straight innings with a run and make it 6 out of 7. They'll have to get a 2-out hit from Baldwin to be able to do so. Zabaleta continues to throw in the Gastonia pen. Rockers are going to go back to Junior Rincon in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch up and in to Roldani Baldwin. 1 ball, no strikes. One of the things about Baldwin, and we mentioned it earlier with him, even when he gets to 2 strikes, he's still swinging as hard as he can. Here's the 1-0. He'll swing, drive this one into left center. Going back is Hampton at the wall. It's off the top of the wall. Downs will come around and score. It's an RBI base hit for Roldani Baldwin, a 6-game hitting streak, and the Rockers lead 10-4. Roldani Baldwin, we talked about the fact that it is such a big, it's a short fence, but it is a tall fence. Short in terms of distance, tall in terms of, well, height, obviously. That is Baldwin's 7th run batted in. Downs scores from second. Xander Wheel goes first to third. And the hitter, Michael Martinez, he homered opposite field his first time up. Swing and a miss on the inside curve. The count 0-1. Martinez 1 for 3 today with the solo home run. Well, obviously a requirement to win a game in this series, you had to score double digits. Gastonia 12 Friday, 11 yesterday, High Point 10 today. Hovis delivers. Martinez takes low. 1-1. One coming from Hovis. Wheel about halfway down the third baseline. Hovis is going to be called for a balk. Xander Wheel had his attention. Hovis called for a balk. Wheel scores. Roldani Baldwin goes to second. It is 11-4. There was a flinch there from Riley Hovis. Xander Wheel had his attention. We mentioned Xander about halfway down the third base line. Hovis tried to step off, but didn't in too many movements. Martinez swinging a miss there, 1-2. Mauro Gazzo at the top step now for Gastonia. Martinez extends the inning. It may be the end for Hovis. That's low. In the count 2-2. So now the Rockers have in fact scored in 6 out of 7. It has gotten very quiet here at Caramont Health Park. Here comes the 2-2. Hovis fires. That's low, and the count full to Martinez now. Zabaleta is throwing the occasional pitch, but mostly just standing around ready. And again, I think they are not going to let Riley Hovis face Jay Gonzalez. Payoff pitch coming to Martinez. Hovis fires. That's low, ball 4. Martinez works a walk. Baldwin stays at second. And the Rockers have 2 aboard with 2 outs. Jay Gonzalez, the hitter. And that will, in fact, be the end of the day for Riley Hovis. So the Rockers with 2 aboard here in the top of the 7th inning. A couple of runs already across. And Mauro Gazzo is going to take the baseball out of the hands of Riley Hovis. New pitcher comes in for Gastonia, so we'll step aside. We'll give you his numbers when we come back. Rockers lead it by 7 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th, Junior Rincon back out on the mound. He'll face the top of the lineup, Sanford, Reinheimer, and Freeman. Rockers lead by 7. Looking defensively, nothing looks to have changed for High Point, so really it's pretty simple. The Rockers just 9 defensive outs away, 3 defensive innings away from picking up a big win today against Gastonia. Obviously, the series did not go according to plan, but at the end of the day, you're not going to win every series. I know Jamie Keefe said win 2 out of 3, and that way you take every series, but you know you're not going to be able to do it. That's just the mindset you have to have, and ultimately, even though the Rockers will not have done that here this weekend, they won the week. They're going to go 4-2 this week as long as they don't give up 7 runs over the next 9 outs. So for High Point, you know, that's you still got to take that and look at that as being a net positive as far as this week is concerned. Road trips, never easy, and you go through a 6-game road trip and you finish 4-2, not bad. First pitch to Reinheimer, or to Sanford, ball 1 low. Again, not saying we're counting any chickens before they, or any eggs before they hatch, but that is what is at stake for the Rockers here if they're not able, or if they're able to hang on to this 7-run lead as Sanford fouls that off. 1-1. Rincon in his first inning of work, 11 pitches, 5 of them for strikes. There's a high fastball, 2-1. Rockers 11 runs, 10 hits, no errors. Gastonia 4-6-1. High fastball, 3-1. Sanford, another one of those Gastonia speedsters, and if he gets on base, probably a good chance they turn him loose. Here's the 3-1 from Rincon. Strike on the inside corner, and the count full. Comes the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. Sanford chased that one down at the bottom of the zone. Strike 3, actually was down below the zone, strike 3. First out of the 7th inning, and that'll bring up Jack Reinheimer. He's 1 for 3 with a 3-run homer. All of Gastonia's runs today have come via the long ball. A 3-run homer from Reinheimer, a solo home run from Zach Jarrett. First pitch, a little bounce off of the turf, off of the glove of Baldwin, and back to the backstop. Here's the pitch, fastball just below the zone. The count 2-0. Check swing did go around. 2 balls and a strike now. Rockers lead by 7. Counting down the number of outs. Get out of Gastonia with a win. That number is now 8. Off speed, outside. 3-1. Yeah, Rincon has not been as sharp today. He's still getting the results, but throwing a lot of pitches outside the zone. He's having to battle his way back into the count. There's a fastball strike. Now Reinheimer has thrown his bat thinking it was ball 4, and he's got to come back for it. That's about the 3rd hitter in the last 2 innings or so that's done that. Rincon ready with the 3-2. Off speed low, ball 4. One out walk, and that'll bring up Cole Freeman. Freeman 1 for 3. Combined between High Point and Gastonia, 8 home runs in this ball game. Honey Hunters have hit 9 for the series. Freeman fouls that off. Rockers have hit 7 for the series. Reinheimer second in the league in stolen bases with 44. We'll see if he takes off. He will not. Fastball strike. And the count quickly 0-2 to Freeman. Zach Jarrett in the on-deck circle. Here comes the 0-2. And Rincon curveball popped up, right field side. Jerry Downs in foul grounds gives it a look. A long run for Downs, and he is not going to be able to catch up to it. It will get out of play, and the count 0-2. Still. A little bit of trickling out of the stands by fans here. You're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Fastball, that's down and in. 1-2 now. Reinheimer has not really shown any indication that he's going to run here. Although he takes off here. Here's the pitch. That's bounced and dropped by Baldwin, a stolen base for Reinheimer. And now the Honey Hunters just 2 steals away. That's twice today. Baldwin's really tried to throw the ball before he's caught it. Maybe that's what the Honey Hunters are going to try to do here. Is just be aggressive on the base paths and try to grab that stolen base mark. Rincon, a pretty slow move to the plate. Here's the 2-2, swing and a miss. Freeman chased that one down in the dirt. And that is strike 3. I think Baldwin got some pellets up in the eye. We have seen multiple catchers have to deal with that this year on these all-turf fields. So that'll bring up Zach Jarrett 2 for 3 with a solo home run. Zach Jarrett, of course, the son of NASCAR Hall of Famer Dale Jarrett. Dale Jarrett's son, Chase. Dale Jarrett raced a lot with Bill Elliott, and Elliott's son, Chase, has been up at the top of the leaderboard at Watkins Glen for most of the day today, although he's currently in 4th. This one, a line drive into right field. They're going to send Reinheimer. Now they're going to hold him because Aklinski fired an absolute rocket in. And that is the 3rd hit of the game for Zach Jarrett. Runners at the corners, and Emmanuel Tapia, the hitter. Rest of that top 5 from Watkins Glen. Leader right now is Austin Dillon. Corey LaJoie, surprisingly, in 2nd place right now. Chase Elliott now moving up to 3rd, Kyle Larson 4th, and Michael McDowell rounding out the top 5. Here's Emmanuel Tapia, 1 for 3, runners at the corners for the Honey Hunters. They have 4 runs on 7 hits, and that pitch sails high. 1 ball, no strikes. Zach Jarrett, we mentioned earlier, 28 steals this year. How about this series that Jarrett has had? He is 8 out of 13 this weekend. Here's the 1-0. Tapia grounds it foul. First base side, 1-1. The atmosphere here, the mood, it just kind of feels like everything's kind of slowed down. Even on the field, players aren't necessarily bouncing around here. Gastonia trying to claw their way back into it. Here's the pitch, a strike to Tapia, 1-2. In the 8th inning, the Rockers have 9-1-2 coming up. Alfonso, Russell, and Aklinski. Rincon ready. Here's the 1-2, curveball, grounded foul, first base side. And it remains 1-2. A little bit past 2.5 hours into this ball game. Actually, in fact, 2 hours and 31 minutes, so just barely passed. Here in the bottom of the 7th. Rincon ready with the 1-2. Fastball outside. That one 92, one of the faster pitches we have seen from Junior today. Rockers bullpen roughed up a little bit yesterday. It's been a strength for them the majority of the year, but a tough day yesterday. Every Rockers pitcher gave up a home run. Jarrett takes off. This one grounded weakly towards second base. It's going to be picked up. Michael Russell off balance throw. They got Tapia. Tapia stumbles over the bag. Both Rocker middle infielders were heading to second with Jarrett taking off. Michael Russell, though, was able to get back to the baseball, backhand it, and throw to first base to get Tapia. Good play, good reflexes, and we go to the 8th inning. Rockers lead it 11-4 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the 8th inning, Rockers lead by 7. Ezekiel Zabaleta back out on the mound for the Honey Hunters. High Point 9-1-2 coming up. Alfonso, Russell, and Aklinski, the 3 scheduled hitters. Rockers 11 runs on 10 hits, no errors. Gastonia 4 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. Rockers have action in the bullpen. This is Tyler Higgins in the bullpen for High Point. Unlike yesterday, it didn't have fans blocking my view. In fact, it was a post in the way, and I couldn't see. I saw the first number as a 2. And then I was just confirming that it wasn't our knuckleballer, Mickey Janis. Half of the player's body obstructed. First pitch to Alfonso. Zabaleta's fastball. There's a called strike. And the count 0-1. Alfonso today 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. Now the only bit of drama left really today, at least from an offensive standpoint. Can the Rockers get that one more home run? They have tied the franchise record with 6 today. Can they find a 7th? Zabaleta ready with an 0-1. Alfonso takes a high fastball. That fastball 92 miles an hour. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike now. comes the 1-1. Zabaleta fires. That's low. 2-1. The section in front of us pretty much is well emptied out at this point. There's some Rockers fans to my right. Remember, there's a High Point home run. It's been a small cheering section, but it's been an enthused cheering section. 2 balls and a strike. He swings. Alfonso flares it into right. That's going to drop a base hit in between Jalen Smith and Zach Jarrett. Alfonso's got a 3-hit day. That'll bring up Michael Russell now.
Second baseman, Michael
Russell
Russell.
1 for 4 with that solo home run that he hit back in the 5th inning. So it was the second hitter of the 5th inning. Here comes the first pitch to Russell with a runner on first base. Zabaleta fires. Russell takes the fastball, strike 94 on the inside half of the plate. Fastball ramping up from Ezekiel Zabaleta. Almost up to the mid-90s now. Here comes an 0-1. Fastball high. Russell checked his swing in time. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Alfonso, modest lead off of first base. Rockers, obviously not so much a base stealing threat. They've not really had to worry about it. Russell, though, swings high, deep into left, but Hampton settles at the track and makes the catch. For a moment, it looked like Michael Russell had done it. But here comes Ben Aklinski now. We'll see if he could join the home run parade. He's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. High Point has scored in 4 consecutive innings. 6 out of 7. They have a runner at first base here. And, you know, you do realize that this one, the chopper to third base. Freeman goes to second for 1. There's no relay to first. Alfonso retired 5-4. That's the second out. And that'll bring up Jerry Downs, who's 1 for 2 with a home run, a walk, a hit by pitch, and he has scored 3 times. What I was saying, I say this while full realizing the Rockers do lose this series 2-1, as long as they win today. But if you got thumped in the first 2 games, it's at least good that you end on being able to return the favor a little bit today. Zabaleta, first pitch to Jerry Downs. Swing and a miss. Zabaleta goes from 94 to 83. Jerry Downs out in front. Bottom of the 8th inning, Gastonia has 6, 7, and 8. That is Castro, Hampton, and Levy. And here comes the 0-1. Zabaleta takes a deep breath, fires to Downs. Strike at the bottom of the zone with the count 0-2. Xander Wheel is the man on deck. He and Lattimore and Baldwin the next 3, so even if Jerry Downs can't do it here in the 8th inning, the Rockers have some power coming up in the 9th inning if they're not able to do it here. Two on the way. Downs going to have to protect the plate. And he'll foul it off. Got a piece of it. And Aklinski has to head back to first. I don't know if we ever closed the book on Riley Hovis. Why don't we go ahead and do that? An inning and 2/3, gave up 3 runs, all of them earned on 3 hits, walked 2, and hit 1. Also committed a balk and allowed a home run. We will Give you the final line on Junior Rincon when Higgins comes in the bottom of this 8th inning. We'll also have an Atlantic League scoreboard update for you in the bottom of the 8th inning as well. Another 0-2. Zappaletta holds the set and fires fastball high, 94 again. But at the rate the Rockers are going, they might not have a single player reach 20 steals this year, and I think that's okay with Jamie Keefe. One, two on the way. Off speed, down swings, drives this one deep into right center field. Going back is Zach Jarrett, and there it is, Rockabye baseball. The High Point Rockers set a franchise record with their 7th home run of the ball game. Jerry Downs, a 2-home run game, his 20th of the year. Ben Aklinski had to make sure he touched third base, and the Rockers lead it now 13-4. Well, High Point really pouring it on now. Here's Xander Wheel. He's got a home run today. So 2 home run games for Downs and for Lattimore. Downs has scored 3 runs. Wheel has scored twice. Aklinski has scored twice. Lattimore has scored twice. And Michael Martinez has scored twice. Here's the first pitch to Xander Wheel. He'll swing out of his shoes at a slider down. And the count 0-1. Rockers lead by 9 now. Zappaletta holds the set. Here's the 0-1. Wheel grounds it to short. Scooped up by Reinheimer, on to first in time. Final out of the inning. But the Rockers make a little more history with 7 homers in the game, and we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Rockers extend their lead. It is now 13-4. They'll head to the bullpen on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the 8th inning, Rockers go to the bullpen. Junior Rincon, inning and a third. Gave up a hit, walked 2, struck out 3. And High Point now turns it over to Tyler Higgins. Next man out of the bullpen. Higgins has been a really good find for the Rockers this year. 2-0, ERA of 0. This is his 7th appearance. 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, and opponents hitting a .182 against him. He'll face 6, 7, and 8, Castro, Hampton, and Levy. We'll give you a look at the Atlantic League scoreboard. Long Island takes down York 16-9. Lexington over Staten Island 6-1. The final score there in 7 innings due to some lingering weather issues there. The Genomes shut out Southern Maryland 2-1. Max Povsey picks up the win. There's a strike, the count 0-1. And Lancaster an early 1-0 lead in the 6th inning over Charleston. So good thing the Rockers are doing what they're doing today, is they're going to be able to maintain the lead in the wild card standings heading into next week. There's a strike. No, it's down low. And the count 1-1. Tyler Higgins has faced Gastonia a couple of times now. In fact, earned the win in his first appearance with the Rockers. Bounces that one. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Right-hander in the pen for the Honey Hunters. This is Tim Naughton, number 32. 2-1 coming from Higgins. This one hit on the ground sharply to short. Alfonso's throw, plenty of time to retire Castro. Out number 1 here in the 8th inning, and that'll bring up Rhys Hampton. Hampton 1 for 2, a base hit, a walk, a stolen base, and a run scored. Rockers now just 5 outs away from getting out of Gastonia. Season series will be 16 wins for Gastonia, 9 wins for High Point. Higgins' first pitch, fastball high. He's sitting low 90s, 91, 92. That one was 91. Swing and a miss, takes something off of it though. Goes down to an effective 84 inside. Swing and a miss from Hampton. And the count 1-1. Higgins fires. Hampton chases down again. That one down and away though. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rockers defense, a little bit of a pull defense for Rhys Hampton. Wind non-existent. Here's the fastball outside. Higgins doesn't get the call in the outside corner. 2-2. Naughton continues to throw. Gastonia has added some really hard throwers in the back end of their bullpen. Zabaleta, Tim Naughton. They had Franklin Van Gerp, but he only lasted about a week or so before he was released a few days ago. Swing and a miss. Down goes Hampton. Strike 3. Second out of the 8th inning. And that'll bring up Stuart Levy now. Levy is 0 for 1, hit by a pitch, walked, and has scored.
That brings up your catcher, Stuart Levy.
And of course, the big thing too, as long as you didn't have anybody throw multiple innings yesterday, which the Rockers did not, with it being Sunday, and you know you have a built-in off day tomorrow, pretty much everybody always available for a Sunday game. As this pitch popped up in foul territory and actually lands about 5 rows ahead of me, and that is strike 1 to Levy. High Point and what they hope will be their last offensive crack at it. We'll have 5, 6, and 7 coming up in the 9th as Higgins' off-speed pitch misses low, and it's 1-1. First game, 317. Second game, 248. This one probably going to land somewhere between the two. That pitch foul, 1 and 2. We are at 250 right now. A ball and 2 strikes to Stuart Levy. Higgins holds the set, ready with that 1-2. Off speed low, tried to get him to chase. He did not. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It has stayed just a cloudy, overcast day since really the 2nd or 3rd inning. Only thing it's not been cloudy, the Rockers' mood. That pitch, strike 3 looking, and that is the final out of the inning, I think. Yeah, a really abbreviated and subdued strike 3 call. Stuart Levy and Chuck Stewart didn't know it was strike 3 for a moment. But that is the final out of the inning. An odd moment there. We've had some issues with strike 3 calls in the past here at Gastonia, but that's the final out of the inning. We go to the 9th. Rockers lead it 13-4 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the 9th. Honey Hunters go to the bullpen. Ezekiel Zabaleta, an inning and a third, 2 runs, both earned on 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Allowed a home run. And they'll turn it over to Tim Naughton now. Naughton 0-1, a 5.63 earned run average. This is his 8th appearance of the year. 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. Opponents, though, hitting .313 against him. High Point has action in their bullpen. Right as I say that, I can't see who it is anymore. He has just gone out of my line of sight. In a split second of seeing him, I want to say it was Joe Johnson. But we will confirm that and let you know. Rockers will have 5, 6, and 7 coming up in the lineup. Lattimore, Baldwin, and Martinez against Tim Naughton. High Point 13 runs on 12 hits, no errors. Gastonia 4, 7, and 1, the line score. Jamie Keefe has not opted to make any changes to give guys like DiSarcina or Trejo a couple of late at-bats. First pitch to Lattimore. He'll take a fastball strike, 0-1. Tim Naughton at 92 miles an hour. Yes, it is Joe Johnson in the Rockers bullpen. Can confirm. Naughton ready with an 0-1. That pitch inside, and the count 1-1. Naughton working first base side of the rubber. Lattimore, a 2 home run game. He's driven in 4. Chases that pitch that didn't even make it to the plate, about 58 foot or so. The count 1-2 now. Lattimore, 2 of the Rockers' 7 home runs. Pops this one up. Won't have a chance at a third as Freeman's going to have space and foul grounds. That is the first out of the 9th inning. Here's Roldani Baldwin. He has extended his hitting streak to 6 games with an RBI single back in the 7th inning. Again, the Rockers return home Tuesday, taking on the Lexington Legends. It's High Point night. If your address is a High Point address, then you can prove that at the box office. And get 50% off your ticket order on Tuesday. We hope to see you at the ballpark as the Rockers begin a 3-game set against the Lexington Legends. Will be their final series against Lexington this year. Defending champs really fell from grace this year, one of the worst records in the Atlantic League in 2022. High fastball to Baldwin, 1-1. Little notable nugget we got from Rockers Director of Communications Steve Shutt a little while ago. The Rockers 7 home runs today. Not only are they a franchise record, it is the most home runs hit by an Atlantic League team this year. Baldwin fouls that one off, 1-2. He was trying to add one more to it. So with that 6-game homestand coming up, you'll be able to catch all the games on MixLR and on YouTube. 3 against Lexington, 3, you guessed it, against Gastonia. You know why? Because it's a weekend in August, so why not? Baldwin fouls that off, and the count remains 1-2. And then after that, there will still be one series left at both High Point and Gastonia before that season series finally comes to an end. Naughton ready. Here's the 1-2. Baldwin takes down 2-2. Naughton ready with the 2-2. Baldwin stands at the back of the right-hand box and hits this one, a 2-hopper to short. Reinheimer throws, easy pitch and catch with Castro, and that is out number 2. Michael Martinez, 1 for 3 with a home run, a walk, and a run batted in, is the next scheduled hitter. Jay Gonzalez in the on-deck circle, should Martinez extend the inning. Back in the left-hand box is Martinez. Kind of been all over today. Left, right, left, right. That pitch low. The count 1 ball, no strikes. Gastonia in the bottom of the 9th inning. We'll have it 9-1-2. Jalen Smith, Darian Sanford, Jack Reinheimer. I guess there's obviously the possibility of a pinch hitter like a Joseph Rosa or a Jake Skoll. There's a strike to Martinez, 1-1. But for the Rockers, I think another key component today, first Martinez waves at that one, 1-2. They're approaching the 66 win mark as well. And why is that important? Well, today, first off, would be their 57th win, so they're 9 away, which would mean that for the 3rd year in a row, in all 3 years of their franchise existence, they've finished with a winning record. Again, we'll need 9 more wins after today, with 26 to go. May need more than that, obviously, to hang on to a playoff spot, but it's going to be a very interesting last couple of weeks, that is for sure. Final 8 series of the year coming up beginning Tuesday as Martinez swings and misses strike 3. Final out of the 9th inning. Rockers go down in order. Bottom of the 9th coming up next on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the ninth, Tyler Higgins goes the inning, strikes out 2 in a 1-2-3 frame, and the Rockers will turn it over to Joe Johnson now to try to finish this one off. Johnson on the season for High Point, 0-2 with a 6.11 ERA, his 21st appearance today, 11 walks, 16 strikeouts, and opponents hitting .284 against him. Johnson, we mentioned, will face 9-1-2, and Jalen Smith and Darian Sanford will be the first 2 hitting. Doesn't look like any pinch hitters forthcoming from Mauro Gazzo, so what you see is what you're getting here. Joe Johnson, the High Point University product, maybe not as strong this year as perhaps he was last year, but we said this a couple of appearances ago for him. I still think there's a good chance for him to make not just more appearances down the stretch, but make some really notable ones and make some impact appearances as the Rockers continue to fight for that final playoff spot. First pitch coming to Jalen Smith. Johnson fires. That's hit on the ground toward short, backhanded nicely by Alfonso. Throw to first in time to retire Smith. Good backhand scoop by Alfonso. That will bring up Darian Sanford, who's 0 for 4.
That brings up your center fielder, Darian Sanford.
One out here in the bottom of the ninth. Stadium pretty well empty and out at this point. The faithful few still remaining, but otherwise, this seems to be a done deal. Grounded right back to Johnson, on to first, and they're now 2 away. Gastonia down to their final out, and the batter is Jack Reinheimer. Honey Hunters head to Charleston, and the Rockers head home this week, take on Lexington. Joe Johnson making quick work of the Honey Hunters here in the ninth. First pitch, fastball strike at the bottom of the zone to Reinheimer, whose 3-run home run in the 5th inning accounted for 75% of the Honey Hunters' runs today. Here comes the pitch. There's a fastball inside. And the count 1-1. A ball and a strike on the way. Johnson holds the set and delivers. Fastball strike, and the count 1-2. Rockers now 1 strike away from a good win here today. Johnson ready with the 1-2. And the righty fires, fouled off, and Gastonia stays alive at least for one more pitch. Rockers will stay a half game ahead of Lancaster and the Genomes in the wild card race, with both Wild Health and the Barnstormers winning today. Barnstormers at least leading today. They have a 4-run lead in the latter stages of that game. Here's the 1-2. Off speed, popped up into left field. Xander Wheel going over. That ball gets out of play. Reinheimer actually got a lot of that ball. But it's foul in the count 1-2. Liam O'Sullivan about to finish this week with a pair of victories. A good way for Liam to wrap up this 6-game road trip. Here's the 1-2. Fastball, bottom of the zone. No, too far down. After comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three, and that'll do it. The Rockers, although maybe it wasn't their best week, ended on an emphatic, record-breaking high note. Final score, High Point 13 and Gastonia 4. Rockers postgame show next on the Rockers Baseball Network.